How I got revenge on my ex who cheated on me on my 21st birthday. This story occurred more than a few years ago. I am originally from the USA, where drinking age is 21. I had been working in sports bars as the front-end manager for a bit. So my 21st birthday was counted down for. I was excited to start bartending. At the time I worked full-time while in school, living in rural Washington state. Relevant later. I'd been dating this guy, mostly LDR, for 3 months or so. He had a come down from Seattle to where I live. Met my family, some friends, and colleagues from the bar I worked at the time. Everything seemed to be going fine. Anywho, about 3 weeks before my 21st, I asked him if he thought it would be a nice idea for me to come visit him in Seattle for my birthday. I thought it'd be nice to try out some bars. Maybe go to some clubs. He seemed into the idea and agreed. I scheduled some time off work for the trip. I confirmed with him that the trip still worked for him a couple days before I planned on leaving. Everything was a go. The day before my birthday, I drive up to see him. He introduced me to Postmates, which I've never used before. Coming from a small town, I paid for both of our meals, which I did think was a little weird for me to do as a guest on my birthday, but I let it slide. I hadn't actually wanted to order in. I wanted to go out to eat, but he said he was tired. We had a bottle of wine after and called it a night. Not exactly what I had pictured for the evening before my 21st. But whatever. The next day, he suggested we get pizza. I like pizza, but I have celiac disease and didn't want to spend a bunch of time on the toilet that day. So I made some suggestions that offered gluten-free pizzas. He turned them all down and insisted we go to this pizza place he liked. I reluctantly agreed. We spend most the day chilling at home, even though at this point I had voiced that I wanted to bar hopping. He brushed me off. Later that same day, he said one of his friends had broken up with her GF, and that he should go be there for her. He didn't invite me, so I told him the generic answer, if that's what you really feel like you should be doing right now. You know, on my birthday. I was obviously getting increasingly frustrated at this point, but I figured it was better to let him go than have him spend the day with me if he didn't want to be with me on my birthday. I had thought he would be gone for maybe a few hours. But nah. This BTCH was out all night with her, tagging his location with her at various clubs all F-king night. He didn't text me, even though I tried to get a hold of him multiple times. So at some point in the night I'm livid and super sad at his apartment, alone with his roommates, whom I did not know. Luckily, they were really nice. They said they didn't realize I was his GF, and that he had had other girls over previously in the past couple weeks. I ended up getting absolute wasted with them, opened a bottle of 151 I had been saving, and took all the fancy ice cubes out of his trays in the freezer. He had Mario and various other special trays, and purposefully didn't refill anything. He never returned that night. I ended up crying myself to sleep alone that night. The next morning, I woke up late, around 11, and he still wasn't home. I was so upset that I had wasted my birthday with this fool who clearly didn't care about me at all. Especially when I had plenty of friends at home who would have loved to spend it going out with me. At this point I'm sitting in the apartment alone, thinking about what I can get away with without getting in any legal trouble. My ex was someone who loved to collect Legos. Expensive themed socks running up $20 a pair. Gaming consoles. Figurines. And he always bragged that there wasn't a hot sauce spicy enough for him. So he had the hottest one on the market in his fridge. I obviously wasn't going to throw his gaming consoles out the window, because I would surely get in trouble for that. So I got creative. I surely wouldn't forget the dude who ruined my 21st. So I had to give him something to remember me by. I took all his expensive, happy, socks and cut just the toes out of them. So every time he put a pair on he would be disappointed to find his toes came out. I left Legos in the toes of all his shoes on the ground. I put hot sauce in his body wash and toothpaste. I rearranged all his figurines. I cut nipple holes in his favorite shirt he had just been bragging about. I left a hole in his new boxers big enough for him to fall through. Then I gathered what was mine. It was about 13:30 and I hadn't heard from him. And I left. Important to note, he didn't share a bathroom with his roommates. I had made sure what I did didn't have any unintentional victims. He later texted me when he got home bitching I had cut up $600 worth of socks of underwear and don't think I didn't notice the other weird shit you did. No apology whatsoever about leaving me behind and my birthday. He never did. Edit. Why it was relevant I come from outside the city. I lived 5 hours away from where he lived. I couldn't super easily just ditch him when things got crappy for me. I apologize for posting this in the wrong sub. Maybe it does belong in Petty Revenge. That's okay with me, but I'm new to Reddit, couldn't decide exactly which sub this belongs in. Would consider this petty, not pro, but well done anyway, open mouth smile. Yo op, nice revenge. But how did you living in the rural Washington was relevant to the story? Wow, what a douche. I'm really sorry. What a 21st. His roommates seemed cool though. Hopefully you went out with friends the next weekend? This is awesome. I'm sorry he did that. He had it coming for being such a prick. For a sec I thought you were going to go Godzilla on the Legos. Glad your after birthday turned out much better. Dang dude, what a piece of crap that guy. Like, if you don't like me just freaking tell me. Don't do that kind of crap, like what the heck. Sorry op B. You could get into legal shit cause of that as well. Destroying property and endangering him cause of that hot sauce. Could get into his eyes. I bet there were lots of red flags before that. I am all for revenge. But this was poorly executed. Neither is this pro. Nor does it make you look any better than him. Other than you confessing to crimes. There is nothing really redeemable in this story. Especially with the entitled self-praise at the end. Nobody should treat a girl that looks as beautiful as you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.